All right. Hey, welcome, folks. Right now, what I wanted to do, since you're probably working on a writing assignment or you're going to be, um, this is one of the tools that we use every year, um, starting back from 2022, that we've been utilizing something called QuillBot. Now, you'll see right here on the page, I've got a Google Doc. So I have this Google Doc here that uh, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's got some things to fix up. It's got some misspellings. It has a couple of things that we might fix and change. So what we're going to do, and what I wanted to show you, is how to utilize QuillBot and how to use it correctly. So if you type in, it's up here in the top, Quill, QuillBot, QuillBot. And if you pull it up, you want to use the QuillBot AI. Uh, Now, the one that we will use is this grammar check. Now, if you just type QuillBot in, it'll just pop up and you'll see the paraphrasing tool is the first thing. But what I want you to click in is to use this free grammar checker. That is what we will be utilizing during this. I already have it open on this other side, so I'm just going to use him. All right, so what you'll see again right here, this is QuillBot. Um, it has a lot of different things that are very helpful. One of those things that you'll see is you can download the extension for it into Chrome. Now you'll notice for Smith, I already have it right here. Here is QuillBot. It uh, allows me to um, already pre all of these little red lines. It's already pre doing it in Google Docs, and it's running it from that particular thing. They also have it for Word, which we don't normally use too much. Now, as you're looking at it, okay, well, it has English, Spanish, French, whatever. It has all these different things that we could use. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy all this. So just Control C and then Control V, or in that case, it just let me do it. Um, Now, if you'll notice, the paraphraser right there, it cuts it off. There's a certain number of words that you can do it for, unlimited words versus blah, blah, blah. But if I was to use the paraphraser, to paraphrase something is just to summarize it. So if I click, paraphrase here, whoop, you'll notice it will start rephrasing some of these things. So I was starting to get worried. I was beginning to worry, even though Cersei had warned us about the sirens. I wasn't prepared for what was ahead. This is really excellent. This is a really solid sentence that they have here. And you'll notice a lot of the things have changed. They've flipped this sentence. So as we were leaving and started heading on our own way, I couldn't help but notice something. It starts off, I couldn't help but notice something as we turned away, began traveling in separate directions. It sounds better. It's a solid piece. And you will see a lot of extra things down here. Does it have merit? Absolutely. It has a whole lot of merit. But this is not what I would suggest you go off of most of the time. Um, all this would be good for is to check a couple of things of, hey, could I possibly use a different word? That's about the only benefit I see from that. Now, this is where um, I believe you should spend most of your time, which is in this grammar checker. So I'm going to post all of our stuff that we have. You will notice it immediately found errors. Immediately. So I was starting to get worried. Cersei had warned us all about the sirens, but I still wasn't ready for what was to come. Now, sometimes it doesn't do perfect. It's an AI. It's a robot. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to have some mess ups, uh, but it will. Because here it's like, hey, you press the space bar too many times. You need to fix it. Which, granted, yes, but sometimes that can cause it to be a little different. Now you'll see down here, there's a button that says fix all errors, and it allows you to fix all the stuff. Um, you can also paraphrase the text. I think it allows you to copy the full text right down here. So when you finish, so I fixed all my errors. I want to export it. So now it's saved, and I could probably put it somewhere. I wouldn't probably use that, but what you will use is this copy full text button. So now it's copied, and if I go to a Google Doc where I just was and I drop in that particular piece, um, which I'm going to do on a separate page than the one that this person has here. If I just drop it in, well, now I have where it has fixed most of the things. Now, like I said, it's not perfect. Um, it depends on how you have it set. For my suggestions on QuillBot over here, I believe it just has it set to catch some of these different ideas. Now, I know very clearly, most of the time, if you're using this, you're like, the AI, we're not allowed to use that or whatever. And that is a brilliant thing for you. You're like, yes, absolutely. Now, there's a plagiarism checker. You'll notice you can't get to it. It has to be upgraded. You have to have premium and pay them money. But the grammar checker, totally free. We could use this whenever we wanted, as much as we wanted, and no cost to you. It's awesome. It's one of my personal favorites. Now, again, it's AI powered. It doesn't mean the AI is going to know what grammar should be used in a certain situation. Like, should you use effect or affect? Sometimes it'll get it right, sometimes it won't. Correct spelling, sometimes it'll get the spelling right, sometimes it will not know what you're trying to spell. It might say that your name is written wrong. I've put in names into it and it says, this is wrong. So you just got to be careful with it. Again, trust your gut as a writer. You are a strong writer. You should be able to do what's needful. Okay. Now, this co-writer thing is not really going to be as helpful for you in particular, um, unless you are doing some kind of research project. This would not be as useful to you. It does provide a lot of feedback and a lot of extra stuff, but for the sake of what you need as a young writer, not really needful. You'll notice we have a summarizer where it can summarize your paragraph into here. Now I have it into 4 sentences. If I want to pull the most important key sentences, it'll pull the key sentences. If I want to make the summary longer, I can. If I want to make it shorter and make it more concise, I can do that. I could do that with the paragraph. I can make it sort of short. I can make it sort of long. Like I said, some of these, it might take, you have to re-summarize to make them a longer or a shorter summary. I thought it just wasn't doing it at all. So there it is. It's got it right there. Citation generator. This is wonderful. I used to use the MLA citation machine. This works just as well. This is not something that you're going to need to use as of right now, probably when you are first watching this, but for the other times, you will probably want to use that, especially if it comes to to a specific, like, hey, I need to get this fixed um, for a paper. Also, you can translate and you can change it to different languages. So if I'm trying to change what I wrote into Spanish for some of my Spanish speaking students, so it makes it a little easier for them to read, I can do that. So it is very helpful. I believe it's a useful tool, and I just wanted to show you how to utilize it while you had this opportunity, while we were looking at it together, mostly to show you what is and isn't uh, useful, and also what I would consider being plagiarized or not, or will the AI machine wrote it for me? No, this still requires you to write most all of your work. You have to have written the stuff for it to check and to suggest some things. This is what I would be doing. I would be suggesting ideas. I would be suggesting words to use here in this particular space. It's just a little different. That's it. It's just a little easier to have for you right there. And you have the standard mode, you have fluency, so it's readable, free of errors, which is ideal for you. And I believe these are probably locked. Yeah, they are locked behind the premium stuff. Um, so like the fancy, you can't do those. But for what you need, this is perfect. This is ideal. It's something that I highly recommend. I use it in my own stuff. There's a reason why I can see the issues on y'all's writing. It's because I'm using QuillBot. I'm using it. Plus, I've also been in this game for 2 decades. So I've been in the school game for 2 decades. I know how stuff works. Okay. So if you've got questions on any of that, feel free to ask myself. Um, and you could send me an email or anything like that. But I found this as a very, very helpful tool, and I wanted you to be able to utilize it. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good rest of the day.